Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm back and I'm mad.
There must be some place in this world where we can live in peace with our people.
He is from a future world, trapped in another time, searching for his past. A hunter of incredible power and strength. In his quest for his origin, he and the woman he loves must fight hostile tribes, battle deadly beasts, and try to survive the violent forces of a newly born Earth. He is the warrior known as Yor. His medallion holds the key to his destiny. His courage makes him master of a world in chaos. His enemy uses the weapons of tomorrow to enslave a primitive planet. But his passion for freedom will set his people free. You're the hunter from the future.
Evening, lads. Hello. Welcome on, welcome all. I hope you have a nice time. Sadly, Jerry is still stuck in traffic. We're getting to this time of year where Christmas is raising his ugly head, and yeah, if you ever worked in retail, it's not a fun time to be in. Also, companies are releasing stuff left, right, and center. I'm guessing he is, yeah, a bit overworked now. So, since Jerry is missing, what do you call it when you just have one vote? Well, I voted for not doing minis. Well, we are doing terrain tonight, because I feel we have too little terrain currently on this show. So I worked myself through the project system, and it fought hard today. Yeah, it really didn't want me to show you anything. With that out of the way, yes, Demon Sub, I saw Mel is back and doing videos. Let's hope that stays this way. So this is the first project of the evening. Panzer, if you have a special project you want to show us, you need to put the link in the description at the end. I only managed to get 6 or 7 projects really working for today. So the first one I wanted to show is by Caesar. He's trying something that has the potential of driving him mad. Building a magnetic 4x4 wargaming table out of 1-foot tiles for a cyberpunk wargame. So in theory, having 16 tiles isn't that hard to do. Starting to magnetize them has the potential of driving one insane if he gets the alignment of the polarity wrong. Trust me, I know what I'm speaking of. And magnets, especially when they are done this way, because he's sinking them into the wood, you're not getting them out anytime soon. So this is a mock-up of one tile he already has. Only 15 more to go. And just look at Candyland. I think it has the potential to be an awesome 4x4 table. James, I hate to bring it to you, the dilithium matrix and tachyon beams aren't a thing yet, really. Yeah, it's... I'm excited to see how far he gets before he has the first tantrum on having missed the polarity of the magnets. But back to the project, I like the fact that he's using very much every plastic toy he can find to make some terrain. And I wish he would have made some more tiles to show us here. Also, why, Caesar, do you have your dice in your cereal boxes in the kitchen? Is there any specific reason? Do we need to know things about your diet? And you may want to stock up on spaghetti. If that's the bad dice box Dutch, I'm pretty sure he is a well-seen customer on any store buying dice. So this is, and just started this project. I urge you to follow this one to have a look-see-nosy when he starts adding more than just 2 tiles to this project. Panzer, I'm still waiting for your link to your project. You need to put it in Twitch chat because I currently don't have Discord open. Next project is a little bit older, and I know we have been here, but that's just wrong. This is what happens when I try to do things myself. This is 144 artist doing everything that's under the sun. So I know we have been here, but I never realized that this is a project that is going back to 2018. So this is a 3-year running project. And most of you probably have already seen the Mantic Terrain Crate stuff. These are nice little boxes of plastic to have some greebly bits and stuff to add to your terrain. I especially like the dungeon ones. They fit nicely for Hero Quest, the good one, not the one we are not talking about. And yeah, just see with how little effort you can bring life into your wargaming rooms. Just stuff your houses full of bookshelves and other nice commodities. So I'm going to, oh, can I just copy that? I don't know. Copy that. That goes on to the list for reference for later. And then we give it time to load while we go back to here. So I wonder if 144 Artist has painted almost what looks like to be the complete collection of the terrain crate. How big is your box of collected scatter terrain at the moment? I mean, it's not just a few bits and pieces, I think. Yeah, the wood graining Demon Sub is really nicely done. I think the most of the plastic kits, even though the older ones didn't have that much of fine details, already had some interesting bits and pieces to make them look interesting enough to not be discarded as cheap pieces of plastic you just throw on the table. And I love the desaturated colors he's using, and then using unsaturated colors for highlights on the cloth. Gives it structure where there isn't really much structure to speak of. And this project just keeps on giving. So if anybody who has been contemplating about should you get yourself a box of Mantic terrain, just look at what a bit of paint can actually get you from these sets. And I've got one part of a set, and I think I'll just nick some of his ideas on how to paint these to have some decent terrain. Your Cowboy Sunset Crispin. A, you know I have seen because I commented on it. And B, we'll save that one for Jerry. And weirdly enough, me playing Skyrim a lot lately, most of these bookshelves look hauntingly familiar. Maybe that's intentional, maybe that's pure coincidence, because let's face it, it's a brown bookshelf. There's not much you can do variation-wise. So just let that soak in for a sec. Painting all the bookends and giving them details so that they don't look just like a red blob is really attention to detail. I think I would have forgotten that and always wondered why they looked so weird. But that's why we have Project System, to steal ideas from other people's. Yeah, the wooden bookshelf is the IKEA version of a bookshelf for dungeons. Wizard Study, that's not the one I have, but that's one I should get myself at some point, I think. These just... I'd really like to see these set up in a in any kind of game, be it a I dread to say a role-playing game with miniatures or just a Frostgrave campaign, maybe? Or you could go with... Oh, I almost feared the button did stop working. You're all awake again, I hope. And how can you be so consistent with your work over years? It's baffling to me. Yes, I know people use journals to make notes of how they paint what, but let's be honest, who can be bothered? I can't be. Yes, Demon Sub, IKEA does dungeons, but those are for adults only. Battle report containing all the Mantic crates, says Duck the Fuck, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I'm pretty sure if Jerry would be here, he would say battle reports. Guaranteed to get yourself a second golden button for this project. I may have made a mistake in sorting them oldest entry first and trying to get through them in one piece, because there's so much detail in the little things. Look at these pests. I don't think I could be bothered to make extra fur. I think I would have just dry brushed them and then let it sit somewhere. Who gives tutoring for a button? You mad? Yes, you mad. You all mad people, but that's why I love you. But I never said that, and if anyone asks, I will deny it. Also, at the end of this month, time zones will shift again. We are going back to winter time. I currently can't tell you how that will affect the schedule. It'll be all over the place. At least that's my theory. So, let's see. How do we do this now? I lost count. This is the one I wanted. Yeah, Crispin, I think the magic formula is measured in pounds going into Ben's pocket. No, I don't think that's how it works. I think you need to be at the right time at the right place, and either Jerry picks the cool buttons while Ben is away, or you need to maybe stop including naughty pictures into your project, Crispin. Maybe add some badges and borrows. Maybe that'll help. Who knows how the brain of one Ben is working. So the next one, City Frozen, Cursed and Ruined by Leono58. I've no clue what this is. I just stumbled across this on the project system before it totally bailed out on me, and we're keeping it. So it's the original starter set of Games Workshop's Warcry with a second set of terrain. And obviously he's going to paint it. So, we can say what we will about the terrain pieces that come with the boxes is usually good. It snaps easy. It has actually a heft to it. The plastic is usually thick, at least the pieces I had in my hands, so it doesn't get blown away on your table or just tends to topple over. So, what does he do now? More variety. And he copied some pillars. Is that legal? Well, I guess you can't stop him. And also copying some trapdoors. This is generally nothing that comes from the box, I'd say. Did he mention what this is going to be? 2 hills using foam MDF brick mat from Limax. That's a weird hill with brick wall and supporting columns. Let's see where he's taking that. Trying to decide on a stone texture. So, what color scheme do we like more? Let's remember he's trying to make a frozen, icy waste. So I'm guessing the left is more frozen-y. The right just looks too green to be in a very harsh and cold environment to me. But then again, who am I to talk? Fox cracks sheets. Yeah, I laughed at it. So this is his current status on all these things, and I think the stonework actually looks really good. The wood is maybe still a bit too brownish. Could use a little bit more grayish look, depending on how old these runes could be. But the rusty metal pieces also do look really nice. Great suck. Why is that, I wonder? Possibly because they're very hard to paint. And one tip, maybe do not hold pieces in your hand, maybe just lower your camera. Potentially that helps with lighting too. And some more press mold details. Greebly bits to put on. Oh god, bricks for supplemental piece. Sprue bricks. You're mentals. Okay, I have seen people doing bricks by the means of casting them into resin, silicon molds. I've seen people doing bricks with extruded foam. I don't think I've seen someone going the route of, oh, I'm cutting up all my sprues to make up little tiny bricks. But I gotta give it to you, it does have its unique look and charm, and it actually looks like that's a real brickwork. Oh god, what a mess. Yeah, kudos to people who do these kind of things for their complete terrain. But I must say, even unpainted, these plastic sprues, it's got a really nice look to it. I can't imagine how much work has gone into roughing up all these edges and making them look like roughly made stones. It feels a bit like a nightmare. I really am excited about how that is going to turn out once there's some slab of paint on. Let's just give him all the buttings. All the voting, all the nice little creepy bits. Perhaps I try to figure out if there's any pattern to Ben's madness in selecting the gold button, but I think there really isn't. It's, I guess, just luck to be within his eyesights. Once you get, he's getting to select some new things. I can't really tell. Yeah, nice work, Leono58. What are you talking about, Lon? Fairy porn? Oh god. Dwarves, badgers, more dwarves. Moonstone Saga, trains, battle reports. Yeah, I think that's more or less what the magic mixture is to have a golden button. Oh, speaking of, today I got to see some pictures. Oh, I hope I get this right. I think they were from Warlord Games, and they actually made a diorama World War One with a MDF steam tank. And I really thought I'd need to share that with Lloyd at some point. So, did I? Oh god, I'm losing control. Next project should be this one, if I'm not mistaken. 144 Artist. We had seen this terrain piece before in the early days, as is evidently by the mushed buttons. Let's see how far he has gotten. So these are, what should we call it? Terrain crates again, with a very time-consuming connecting system. These little square packs. Let's see, where did we stop watching? We've seen that. We've seen that. Holy moly! Did I sort this wrong? No, didn't. Did I? No, I don't think so. Let's go down the rabbit hole. So, rusted containers. Yes, we've seen these. We've seen the infinity managers, the aliens, the weird minis. Why are here minis? I thought I just selected terrain. Oh, and these. Yeah, I remember those were very colorful. Oh god. It's not sorted correctly, is it? Oh, hell. Yeah, we need to go the other way around. My bad. Oh, project system is actually behaving. That's interesting. So, let's go down. This is where we stopped. Where he had started making interesting terrain out of children's plastic. It seems like plastic toys are... little children's plastic toys, I might rephrase this, are a very good foundation for making your own terrain. And once there's a slab of paint on it, it actually pulls everything together. And this is a thing that has been fascinating me from day one when I first saw somebody do scratch build terrain. That a simple coat of paint just makes everything look so much more like the artist has envisioned it. If you know what part had what color before, especially things like these little tubes on the lower left or the bell thing on the tower, you still may recognize them as toys, but once there's paint on it, it just somehow transforms it completely. And when you're out of printer spools, make your own. And I'm not going to ask, but I'm going to ask 144 artists, how many children have you nicked their toys from to make all of these greebly bits? This looks like you ran amok in anybody's children's playroom. It's just a convoluted mess of parts. I see granny grating, I see straws, something that could be Lego, some old screw-on caps from detergent. This is just so much going on. And yet these still need some paint. There's a note sprue of some kind. Dental tape. Oh god, just look at the amount of detail that's already on there. And now imagine this is getting painted at some point and potentially getting added even more details. And you would do me a favor if you could show me your parts bin, for lack of a better term, because I'm guessing you must have some enormous tub where all the plastic remains are in. There's got to be some gigantic bits box that isn't gaming related. So, what's next on the menu? I'm guessing this one, if I'm not mistaken. Springy cleaning by Riksh. So, this is a short project. I had a quick glance over it. He's done some terrain for Frostgrave. I didn't really get where he got the pieces from. Maybe I've missed it. Some old Lord of the Rings walls and an old bridge he made years ago. So this is his starting point, old Lord of the Rings terrain and a do-it-yourself bridge that was sleeping in the corner. And again, priming just starts giving it one first look. This is a thing that I tend to say always almost irritates me when people start painting bright colors on stoneworks, because I always imagine stones being unicolor. I know it's wrong. I know that most stonework is more or less a slight variation of sorts, but I don't think I've seen stones that differently colored at the same time being so chiseled exactly and to spec. But then again, if it works, it works. And after he has toned it down with dry brushing, I think it really looks good. Almost too much dry brush if it weren't for a terrain that's getting frosted for Frostgrave. Demons, how fragile that liquid frost is. If that stuff is anything like that chemical we had back in the day for it was a little toy. You took a cardboard tree, put it in the liquid, and the liquid would soak up through the cardboard and then make crystals, quote unquote, on the edges. They were rather fragile, and I'm guessing this isn't much different. The effect definitely looks very nice, and if the crystals aren't too fragile, I think that's something you could use more often. But seeing the structures being very crystalline, I think that's more for display pieces than actually board gaming pieces. It's I think it's too much on the fragile but optical looking good side, rather than not looking so good and realistic but very easy to handle. Yeah, interesting start of a little project. Needs some more work, and I'm guessing if this corner piece is his test piece, then I'm really looking forward to what he's going to do with the bridge and the larger section in this picture. Maybe I should give this one a follow as well. Yeah, it really looks absolutely like frosted crystals, but I think that's potentially the crux of it when it's getting too fragile at that scale. Next project then will be Collins doing Savage Frontiers. We had been here obviously before. Let's see where we left off. The shingling, this layout. Why didn't that? No. Did I select one we already seen everything from? I don't think so. Let's go. Snow spray, more testing. Everything we know. Where's the new stuff? I know there's new stuff. Still not new stuff. Oh god. Dang it. Sorted wrong again. As I have told you, the project system was fighting me earlier this day. So let's go the other way around, maybe, perhaps, eventually, possibly. I'm getting scared here. I'm getting scared. Bloody hell. There it is. So, 3 months. No, wait, we're in October, so 2, 4 months. Let's see what he has done. Flocking. And even more flocking. And for some odd reason, also getting frosty. Let's see, what did he use it? Mixed herbs, rich seeds, with a static grass applicator. But why is it white? Or is oh, this is just this snow sprinkle stuff. Seeing that he's outside, I just hope there wasn't too much wind while he was applying the static grass, because I guess that could be a very big pain in the ass. And I love this this drying board he has made himself. I wonder if he did it after Mel the Terrain Tutor did his version, or maybe it's just a well-known cheat and Mel just decided to make a video on it. And it looks like he's getting very much use out of it, doing all these large pieces of terrain. Oh, did you spot it? He's not outside. It's some kind of garden housing, and he's watching people on the telly. Does anybody know by heart which episode that was? Probably not. Trees as far as the eye can see, and a static grass applicator. Oh, he's always watching some weird stuff in the background, obviously. Warworld Cynic static grass applicator. I wonder how many of these things are actually in the world right now from various brands and manufacturers. And I'm always very baffled about the what do you call it, the price range you can get these from very cheaply self-made to bloody expensive. Just look at this almost complete set of a table. Isn't that some nice looking terrain? Oh, Taffy, welcome. Sounds like you had a bad evening. Well, lucky you. Channel your inner Jerry and just leave it all out. Just let it go. Hell knows we can use some life. This is going... See, this table is getting so big that he actually needs to adjust the table that is supporting his gaming. So, if he sprinkles soft snowflake over it, how does he get rid of them afterwards? Does he just vacuum them up? Or how does he do that? And just look at all the extra little detail he's adding for some of these single pieces. A manor house, a little hut. Oh, wrong. A little pond. An even smaller pond. And he has made fishes. I'm guessing he did these by the means of putting something into the resin before it cures. Does he tell? Bolt gun metal to draw the shape of the fish, Nurgle green to add color down the center, Stormhorse silver to highlight. It really looks cool. And it throws a natural shadow on the ground, which is adding to the immersion. Going full Jerry. The kind and benevolent Squirrel Lord decreed the best way to seal my pine trees was to make my own scenic sealant spray following a video online. 2 parts water, 2 parts ISO, 1 part matte medium. And then 3 shakes of a squirrel's tail followed by a 7-day wait for the heavy solids to separate. Well, Jerry will be very pleased to hear that you actually did it. Doing some roads. Oh, I love this tool. Making your old tool to create card tracks is great. Love this. Oh, Toffee, I feel you. Having to work with broken or not suitable equipment is the worst. And I'm always wondering if there isn't some kind of law needed to make your employers present you with the appropriate tools you need for anything. And a little bridge made from wood. But I don't think this water will be troubled. It will be some slow-flowing water, like the other pieces he has. It might have gotten out of hand. You don't think so, Colin? Just look at this sheer size of that project. So, count with me. How many squares do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh, almost 30 tiles. I'd say that's quite an impressive number of tiles to have to make some very modular terrain. I'm very curious how far this will go before the missus is going to kick into overdrive and start complaining about all the space you're hogging. Yeah, Tavi, I didn't really mean it as a joke. I really think employers should be held accountable for providing tools to make your job work. But then again, welcome to capitalism and bosses being jerks. Next project? Lothlorien Table for Middle-earth SPG by Mischief. So these are 3D printed pieces, as we might have guessed by the sheer way these are cut up. Since they're white, it's really hard to tell if there's any stepping on them. I, for my part, can't see it very clearly at the moment. Maybe they are also resin printed. Does he say? Base layer, Facebook. Printed. No, doesn't say. Maybe the paint will bring up some details. Spraying outside, always a good idea. Though I've found for myself that every time I try to spray paint outside, I get spider webs for some odd reason. Yeah, hand the scrubber to your boss and tell him to do it faster. Account impression. 1 scrub. 2 scrubs. 3 scrubs. Yeah, Crispin, spray painting in the garage with the door open is possibly the most effective way, because you're more or less having an open space, but nothing that no wind blowing crap at your fresh paints. But then again, you would need a garage for that, would you? And just going outside is potentially a possibility for everyone, even those who don't have a garden. I like this approach of him doing everything at once, with just going full ham on painting everything. And it looks to me quite a lot of pieces. So here we have the first picture literally being bigger. So on the inside, we can see that they're printed, but I've got to give it to whoever printed these. They really made sure that there's little to no stepping visible on the outside. I'd say I'd be hard-pressed to see that this is a 3D printed terrain once it's all assembled and painted up and washed. And it's a big one. This is going to be a very interesting thing to see how this all comes together at the end when it's finalized. And does it look like it's playable from the inside, or was that just my imagination? Because I can't see any houses, the insides? Or are these the insides? Oh, now I see. This is the inside of the house. Well, that should be an interesting way to play on this then, if you're getting multiple levels. I'm not sure. Check, tell me, does a lot of the rings have any rules for difference in height? Is there any level play difference? Or is it more or less just, yeah, you're an one step up, but I still can hit you? While you are giving me an answer and I'm waiting for it, I'll just hit some knobs. I think this is the first 3D printed terrain that's passable by my standards. Welcome back, Demon. Always answer when Mother calls. It's important. And now, the moment we all have been waiting for. Oh god, what did I do? Almost wrecked the place. Where are you lots? Castle. Well, oh, that's a new entry. I see, not the complete project. It's a recent entry or just a part. Maybe we should go back to the project block and see it in his glorious completion. Panzer, is there more pictures than the one? Or do we need to watch your video on that? So, for everybody who has been living under a rock behind the moon or just woke up from cryostasis, Panzer has made battle reports and a very nice photo report from Partisan, which made me really green with envy seeing all the people running around playing games, having fun, enjoying their hobby.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, but come time comes game, I hope. So let's see. Is there more of this castle you have? I did call Pete. Some in the video, he says. So then we shall, if I can find it. Hold on. Please hold the lion. Ah, there it is. And now we're going full screen. So this is the oh, I need to tone down the audio here. So this is the one where you went mental on the stonework with the application of the stencil. Remind me again, what material was the stencil? Was it a silicone or was it some bendy plastic? I seem to recall we had a little discussion on that. I found it may be too fragile. The other word you are looking for to Tuffy?
Fugu.
Yeah, I'll be very frank with you here, Panzer. I think you should actually add more pictures to the project from various different angles, because it really looks good, honestly. And I think the one picture in the project system, this one, doesn't really do it justice. I think you need to make some more pictures and show them to the people. If you have the possibility to get your stuff to a location where you may have a walk around your table and do shots from different angles, I think that would make them look even better. Though I know just making pictures for the sheer fun of taking picture is maybe a bit much to ask. Especially since you are moving. Yeah, James, the project system, that's, I think, starting to become a tale that's as old as OTT. I talked about this with different users of the site at different times in different contexts, and everyone more or less at some point said, yeah, this is getting partially so annoying with the project system when it's not working. that they simply stopped uploading pictures, doing projects, and anything, because it's just, well, let's face it, you put in all the time and work in making pictures, trying to upload them, and then adding text. And if you're not like me and doing the text just beforehand and having them as a copy, so that in the case that a submission to the project system goes bananas, you can just copy and paste it again, and other people just start writing in the project system. I did this at the beginning too, and it's yeah, it's like driving with no seatbelts on and one eye closed, having a wank at the same time. It's just no. And no, Dutch, no amount of hamsters can mitigate the fact that Beast of War / on tabletop is a souped up WordPress installation, and it's, if it weren't for all the added features, it would work, but it's the team behind OTT is asking a lot of the WordPress installation they're using. It's something. It's really nothing. And to be honest, I'm astounded that anybody was able to make it work in any shape or form. So let's indulge ourselves in some partisan pictures moving on the channel of Panzer Kaputt. Yeah, James, and that's the thing. Most people are either just switching back to their own blogs or setting up a blog of sorts to get projects sorted. And that's kind of weird. Especially since I myself for some time did a similar thing. I put all my pictures in the context for, well, how do you put it? So once I started making pictures of my project things and felt the need to share them and put some text on it, I put it on my personal blog and then just copy paste most of the things over to the project system. But as Demon Sub says, there's a limit to everything on the site to just keep it running. The thing is, if you start doing things like the project system and you want to do it on a working bigger scale, you need to have some money invested in hardware, and B, then also have somebody at hand who's very good at his job and keeping it running. And that person needs to be paid full time. Or we all just start making photo montages as a YouTube video like Pete is doing currently, and then just put up the link in the project system with a moving camera. Yeah, a shared blog, Pete, is more or less what we already have, I guess, with Beast of War. I mean, it's relatively easy to set up a blog, a WordPress blog. I've got set up several, and we could always get set up additional users to have people chime in But let's face it, if we start diverting traffic from OTT, that would be to the detriment of all of us. Part of the issue is not using the actual WordPress editors, which would take away the pain of editing content. Instead, it just pushes everything at once. Oh, a add-on to OTT. Ah. Yeah. I think, and I seem to remember that I've talked to the tech guys in the background about that. It's it's not as easy. The problem is I don't think you have the possibility within WordPress to differentiate the rights of what can be done by whom. There's just a given level of freedom, so you can edit stuff, you can delete stuff, or you can just post stuff. And at least for my part, I would be very grateful for the possibility to delete entries in my blog or my project, for that matter. Yeah, if you move away from WordPress, that's the point. If we would, but that would mean we get an OTT Beast of War 3.0, and I remember how much loss there was when converting from 1.0 to 2.0. There's basically they would need to start from zero. And I told what's his face, not Tom. Oh God, forgive me, my name's the tech guy behind all the stuff. Nakchak, I think. I'm sorry, I've totally blanked now. I told him it would be, from my point of view, it would be best practice, because OTT is still only available online under the URL beastofwar.com. So if On Tabletop really wants to make the transition to be on tabletop.com, they have the possibility to make a new working system under the URL on tabletop.com while still maintaining the old system under Beast of War until OTT is up and running. And then they can say, okay, we're going to cut down Beast of War by the end of next month and please download anything you want from your own stuff, and from there on it's a fresh start. But I can see the problem with that meaning you'll be losing people left, right, and center. Yeah, technically you could, James, you're right. I know there are possibilities and ways to make it happen, but let's face it, at some point you need to cut your losses. And if the investment is getting bigger than you would from starting by zero, the investment would be higher than the losses you would have if you start again with zero. It's a project. It's a problem looking for a solution. But that's neither here nor there, and this isn't tech talk with the weird sounding German, not featuring the tech guru Jerry, which should be home by now, I hope. I don't think I will be asking anybody demon sub, because I'll just want to stress this is unofficial hobby hangout, so I'm not going near anything work related anymore. Yeah, whip the hamsters. Okay. Unless anybody has questions, wishes, wants some shoutouts, I'll be sure that I'll link the channel with Panzer Kaputt in 2 secs. Yeah, James. Counting. Are you uploading to your projects? Well, then I think we'll give James his spot in the his place in the spotlight. Oh, I can't really tell. Maybe I should 42, Tuffy. Maybe I should make myself some different. No, where was I going? Maybe next time when Jerry is not around, I should do 2 things. 1, drink beer. 2, just speak German to annoy the fuck out of you. So, James has just shared an URL. And if this is going to be naughty bits, we're not going to show them. Because for naughty bits, there's a different time and a different zone. So let's see. Maybe go to the browser again. Is it? Yes, this is the one. Yes, that you understand German, but most of the other little motherfuckers don't. Welcome. So, CrackCon. That's not a very tempting title, is it? Oh, let's see. It's a battle report, is it? Without words, just pictures. Jerry, we have a battle report and you're not here. This is wrong. This is wrong on so many levels. I'm guessing you didn't write anything on turn 4 because you were exhausted? May I just and this is going to sound very what do you call it? Well, I'm going to say this is going to sound very, like I'm very bitter about things, but I really envy the fact that I'm showing 2 pictures and Panzer's knowing where that is. This is just I not being one of who's living in England and having, let's say, 80%, 90% of on tabletop being Irish/English, is you always feel a little bit left out. It's just yeah. It's like with the boot camps. You see these boot camps and I want to be there. And I know that Crispin, yeah, I understand that you everybody who's not living in Ireland or England is probably feeling the same way. Even though Peace of War had a US office of sorts, if you want to call it that way. But at the same time, I'm very happy to see that this is not just an online community where people potentially at some point may meet and game, but that people actually know each other live in person and have played a game, maybe had a drink or two or three, had a laugh, spend a weekend. The things you like to have with people in your comfort zone. Yeah, if it weren't for sheer monetary reasons that it's just unaffordable, I think I would have gone to the Star Wars Legion boot camp 2 years ago. But then again, well, money's finite, so is time. But as Jerry says, one day we'll all be dead. Maybe at some point, Crispin, we should start a GoFundMe for all the non-UK Irish Beast of War OTT members, pool resources, and just head over there in full force. I'm pretty sure there are some people in the US that would like to go to Ireland and give Jerry and Warren a hug. Oh, you don't want to go to Oktoberfest, Crispin. Believe me, you don't. That's the... No. Nein, Tuffy, not invasion. Nobody uses that evil word. Why would she? Cancer. Yeah, folks, it's getting late over here. I'm tired as hell. I still haven't found a proper shop to do my I Can't Be Arsed shirt that with the one that the graphic Caesar did. Still contemplating on how to do that to maybe make it available. And yes, next week I hope Jerry's back. If not, I'll think of something other than me rambling. Next Wednesday, so not tomorrow, but the week after that. Just giving you a head's warning, Panzer and I will be doing a painting and chatting in the Discord again, since Panzer has gotten his admin rights back. Yes, James asking MG about Star Wars Legion will happen tomorrow, because they just stream Star Wars on Wednesdays and Fridays. Mumble in the Jumble. Painting with the old bearded grumpy nards. And maybe we'll talk to you at some point and not just rumble. So with that said, everybody, thank you for being here. This will go up to YouTube. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Lena. I'm out. Bye.